Okay, for the video this week, we're going to do a description online, but I wanted to post a video of how we're going to measure the height of your hands. This is where the whole workout's going to come down to. So to a certain point, there's cleans involved, but if you can do the weight RX, that's not, you're going to spend 6 minutes on handstand push-ups all your time here. When we measure the line, that's going to be where everything comes down to, because Josh Bridges somehow got hosed on his line. His hands were wider, and his line somehow gets screwed up, and he's going to redo it and get a million more reps. So what we're going to do when we measure is you're going to stand with 2 feet, toes on the wall, just like they talked about. But in the video that they show, like all the standards, they allow for plates with an ab mat. We're going to do that because it allows us 2 things. It allows you to crash a little harder without worrying about landing on the floor. And unless you're doing the workout at a separate time, if you're doing it Saturday morning, we don't have enough red mat space for everybody. So if you can do the little bit of a deficit that this is easily, then do this. Because we measure, and the little bit of difference in width with me standing on the plates versus standing on the floor with a normal hip width was about 1 1/4 inch height difference. So I got crummy reach, but when I reach all the way up, standing hip width is about 1 1/4 inch higher than when I widened to stand on the plates. It came down a little bit. It changed enough, it made it so much easier to get past the line. So you'll stand with your feet on the inside edge of these things, here just outside the ab mat, toes on the wall, thumbs together. When you reach up, you're gonna lock your elbows. I don't want you playing with locking up your elbows poorly. So you're gonna lock your elbows. When you reach, we're not reaching as absolutely high as I can, reach. That's not gonna pay off. We're not gonna cheat it. We're not gonna do this, I'm leaning back, hunching, kind of settling thing. I'm not doing this either. What I want you to do is reach up, elbows locked, but instead of reaching here and hitting through, I want you to set your shoulders down and look up, okay? The looking up thing is like 1/4 inch. It's not a big deal, but Josh Bridges lost reps on 1/4 inch. So I want you to look up and set your shoulders down. Your chest is still as close to the wall as you can get. We're not cheating that aspect of it, but I'm here. This is still full reach for me versus doing this and pushing my head through. If I look up, it brings it down. If I set my shoulder blades down, it brings it down, as long as I can keep my thumbs locked, okay? So toes on the wall, nose on the wall, looking up, shoulders down, elbows straight, okay? So we'll mark the line, I'll mark 3 inches down, but now I can crash a little faster. For me, without the mat, I'm gonna slowly lower thump. If you're doing it on your own and you can use the red mat, that's fine. Play with the measurement for yourself. If standing here and doing it is the same measure as if you stand on plates, figuring in the height of the plate, that's fine. But take some time and figure that out. If you come in on Saturday morning and we're just cranking through heats, come back here and practice it. We'll have a couple of stations set up where you can do this. For some of the ladies, if this is gonna screw you up and you won't be able to do this deficit, that's okay. Do it without, we'll get as far as we can, but we won't have the red mat out. It's not fair to everybody if I say, you 3 get the red mat and everybody else doesn't, so we can't have the red mat out on Saturday. If you have to have the red mat, you're gonna need to come at a different time and get yourself judged.